coming in hot, Chinch, on a Friday. How we doing, brother?
We certainly are. Dude, it's Friday, man. I'm going to clean up the yard today. Get ready for the summer. It's almost there. It's crisp. The crisp of the air is starting to loosen up a little. Dude, just a little bit, right?
It's going to be 65 here today in Pittsburgh. My son just cut the grass yesterday, so it's beautiful.
Do you sit out there with like a lemonade and just yell at him while he's cutting the grass, going like, get the line straight, Jake?
He does a great job. I'm proud of myself because back in the day I did when he's 13, starts cutting the grass and he's leaving freaking mohawks everywhere. Like, hey, there's circa 8 mohawks in the freaking grass, dude. Let's go.
That's funny, mohawks. Hey, so I just got, you've been selling me on this new iPhone. What is it, 14?
14, yeah.
Hey, look, that's my niece and Maya like 3 years ago. Look how cute.
Oh, that's cute.
I freaking, dude, is there anything worse than the first like 3 days when you get a new phone?
Bro.
Because, dude, I don't know how, I can't turn the volume up and down. I'm re-entering passwords left and right.
All your apps have to reload and then put the passwords in. You're just like, come on, man. Like, we got to be better, Apple.
Right. Let me tell you a second scam Apple does. The reason I got the new iPhone is because you people chime in on this. I bet you all agree with me. At a certain point, I feel like these geniuses who are sending people into space and doing cars with no gas and all this stuff, they make your phone die after like 2 years to a point where you have to buy a new phone. Agree or disagree, Sean Casey?
Bro, not only do I agree, but also another humongous scam is they changed the charger.
Forget about it.
I just bought a $1,000 iPhone and I can't charge any of my other stuff with
$200 freaking charger.
What a scam,
dude! It's such a scam. You're so correct in that. Yeah. Come on, man. You scumbags. Yeah. We're already giving you thousands of dollars. You're a multi-gazillion dollar corporation.
Yeah.
Don't scam me. I know it. I'm looking at you. I'm watching you guys. I don't believe in you. Watch. Imagine like my tires don't work. You know, like I don't trust them. Those big businesses, man, they can take you out. They can take you out if you talk trash about them.
Well, dude, speaking of I got a nice segue here, Chinch.
Oh, this is nice.
Speaking of big business and taking people out, how about this story about the University of Alabama coach getting fired because talk about big business. Oof. Somebody noticed a bet from whoever, a couple people in Cincinnati, Ohio, I believe, and they like shut down the game. Like, didn't they shut down the betting for Alabama baseball?
Dude, yes. And like and that's Alabama baseball. That's in the baseball world, that's up there with comparatively, like Alabama. It's Alabama. That's like one of the biggest programs. One of they are probably the golden child of the NCAA for what they do in football. Right. That is a bad thing, man. That's just like dirty and weird, and I'm still trying to kind of like unpack it and read a lot about it. I don't want to speak too much on what happened, but dude, gambling, college sports with college students, and it's the coach that's involved in it. Ugly. It's ugly.
The coach got fired, right?
Yes.
So if the coach is getting fired, they had to have something on him. Brad Bohannon.
Yes.
They had to have something on him.
Obviously.
I guess the question, Chinch, here is this the tip of the iceberg as far as like gambling and sports goes? I mean, it's so easy now. I go on my phone, an app, FanDuel, blah, blah, blah. You know, I don't gamble, but I'm saying it's so easy to do that nowadays. And then you get in a pinch, and all of a sudden you got, a Pete Rose situation where back then you got to call a bookie. Now you just put it on your app.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to do anything. That's what's happening. The NFL's cracking down on that because some of these guys, they're actually allowed to bet on sports other than themselves in the NFL. However, you cannot do any type of gambling from a site of the football team that you were working with. So, like, if I took my phone and, you have the Wi-Fi, speaking of the shitty Apple iPhone that I can't work, like if I go and I'm at the facility, I'm using the Wi-Fi of the facility. So if I make a bet like you're talking about on your phone, 6-game suspension because I'm using facility stuff to do that. So the thing that kind of, I don't know, like it's murky to me is the amount of money, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, whatever you want, the league and the owners are making a lot of money on gambling, you can't go to a baseball website and not see either FanDuel or DraftKings, right? Like you just BetMGM.
BetMGM. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's everywhere. So there's a little bit of a I don't know. It's almost like a kind of like a like, what are we doing here? Like, you're gonna make all this money off of this. Well, don't kill the guys that I don't know. Slippery slope. What's your take? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you can bet on
it's just slippery slope. And I guess you're trying to figure out. Yeah, it's scary for sports because I feel like this. You know, sometimes with addiction, you know, you're a cucumber, and then you become a pickle. And once you're a pickle, you can't go back, right? You're never a cucumber again, right? You're in, and then all of a sudden you have to look at that pickle jar and say, I just can't open the pickle jar. That's how I look at it with any kind of addiction, like a gambling addiction. Okay, if you've crossed over you become the cucumber, now you're the pickle. You can't go back. So now you have to fight all those urges to not pick up your phone and hit that app while the Wi-Fi's on at your college. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many levels to this. It's so much different than saying, hey, you can't do that. Well, if you've already gone down that road, now, you know, it's like these phones, dude. Well, how addicted are we to these phones? Pick up your phone every fight. It's Pavlov's dogs. The thing rings. It beeps. There's a text.
Really
it's like,
oh yeah, you're always jumping.
Dude, our brains are pickled on these phones. So it's like, guess what? Now that we're a pickle, and we're, you know, like I said, it's a great analogy, the cucumber and the pickle. Yeah. Now that we're pickled, we're not a cucumber anymore. Now, if I don't want to pick this up, I literally have to get it out of my sight.
Oh, forget it.
And like turn it off and get it out of my sight, make it hard and make it invisible to change that habit. That's not easy to do. So anytime something like this where it's hitting the dopamine receptors in your brain, like I said, you really have to go to another level to have bright lines to really make sure that you're not crossing over those lines.
Yeah. You know what? Years ago, this is an interesting one, especially for you. So years ago, back MLB put an order into all of the MLB employees that we were not allowed to gamble. Any employee of MLB, and the reason was because we have a competitive advantage, right? It's like insider trading. So now the problem with this coach, the thing that makes it scary with the coach is he has knowledge. He has insider trading knowledge. Let me go back. Sean Casey, 1999, shows up for a game, and you know 4 of the dudes who are in the starting lineup today went out until 4 o'clock in the morning last night.
Right.
If you had wanted to, you could have put a bet in going, we're not winning this game today. I bet there were days you walked into a clubhouse and you're like, we're done. We're going to lose 5-0, and it's going to be embarrassing. It's going to be an embarrassing loss. That is insider trading. So when you're talking about like coaches and players, I do understand. Listen, Pete Rose, I still think he's a Hall of Famer. Screw that. But because he wasn't manipulating that way. But I do understand the logic behind, you know, the insider trading, insider info type stuff that you guys have as players. Like and coaches, you know,
even like, you know, a guy's hammy's not 100%, or man, a guy's got a tired arm, but he's ready to pitch tonight. He's not out, but boy, he's really grinding right now. You heard him say something to the trainer or something. So like, there's stuff in that clubhouse and those locker rooms that no one else has access to, especially that knowledge.
Let's go next level. You're the manager of the team. Bases loaded, 2 outs. You can bring in your best lefty, and you don't. That's why this guy's got to go if everything we're reading is what it is.
Right.
Anyway, all right, so let's go positive. We're much more positive than negative people. Red Sox, dude, your boys. You got the jerseys. You played for the Boston Red Sox.
Dude, you know what's funny you said that? It's funny that you just said that because I was watching the game last night, and because I was listening to Kevin Youkilis and Tim Wakefield are in the booth with Dave O'Brien. They do a great job.
Great job.
They do a great job. I text you, I told him, you know, nice job, bro. Anyway, they did a great job. But watching that game last night, man, the crowds at Fenway, dude, there's nothing like the Boston faithful. Seriously, like when I look back at my career, I know 15 years ago was my last time playing in the big leagues, which is incredible to think of. But 2008 was one of the coolest years ever, just because Fenway Park's packed every night with a passion like you've never seen. And I mean, in April and May, The passion's there. It's incredible.
Yeah. And they're 3 feet away from you on the first baseline.
They're right there, dude.
They're in the stadium. Like they're on the field.
It's that old, old stadium feel where they're right on top of you. But you look at the Red Sox, and I think, maybe we're all writing them off. They've won 6 in a row. They just get a 4-game sweep with the Blue Jays.
Yes.
The Blue Jays are good.
They are good.
The Blue Jays are really good.
Yes.
4-game sweep with the Blue Jays. They're 19-14. And guess what? Yoshida, who they signed from Japan, turns out he's legit.
Legit. Yeah. Talk about him for people who don't know who he is.
He had 3 hits last night. This guy is not a big dude. He kind of reminds you like a Dustin Pedroia Altuve. At least that's what it looks like. But dude, he has 6 bombs, hitting 317. He's got almost a 950 OPS. He's got a couple stolen bases. Guy's a great baseball player. But dude, last night, home run to right center, his 3rd hit, he hits a bullet in the hole. Guy on 3rd, bullet in the hole by Bo Bichette to the opposite field. So this guy can hit, man. He doesn't strike out, puts the ball in play. Looks like this is going to be a great, kind of an under the radar. I don't think we gave it a ton of props. We saw Yoshida signed for 5 years, $100 million. I don't know if it was that's kind of cool. No, this is going to be an impact bat right here for the Red Sox. That
well done.
They obviously put the money in to get him.
I'll add another thing. So my producer head, I always look at these kind of stats as you go along.
Yeah,
they've been doing this with Chris Sale still trying to find himself for that injury.
Yeah.
So 418, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned, 24 against Baltimore. All right. He got the loss, 5 innings, got a little lit up. Last start, 6.1 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned, 5 Ks. They are like Chris Sale is starting, if he's won 2 out of his last 3, or at least done close to winning 2 of his last 3.
Yeah.
Watch out, dude. 3 starts ago, 11 strikeouts from Chris Sale.
Well,
go ahead.
Did you see the one start he had this year? He had no punch outs early on.
Yeah.
And he was pissed
at
himself. And then you saw him come back, and Alex Cora said to him, hey, man, be more athletic. Be athletic out there. Like, don't just get so concerned with your mechanics. And he goes, dude, you're a long, lanky guy. Let it fly. You're Chris Sale because it looks a little different. For that hitter in the box, you go, wow. Like Randy Johnson's arm was just, he could sling it. It was so big, Sale's a big dude. He's 6'5", 6'6" on that mound. With that arm, he's got a huge arm, and he could just slings that slider and that heater. And the next start after he punched out nobody, he hit 97. He was punched. I think he punched out his second guy of the game, and he was like, I just need to be more athletic. I love the relationship he has with Alex Cora. Alex Cora and Chris Sale have a great relationship. They've had it since back when they won the championship a few years back. But Alex Cora is so in Chris Sale's corner. Chris Sale knows that. You're right, Chinch. That's a name that we've just kind of forgot about because he's been injured. That's an X factor right there. If Chris Sale is the Chris Sale that we know and love, now you got an ace again on the Red Sox.
Love that. Good point there. I was muted for a sec. Sorry. All right, let's go back negative. St. Louis Cardinals, dude. Jack Flaherty got lit up last night. They are 5-11 at home. They are 5-11 on the road, and they are 10 games behind the fighting Buccos in the NL Central. Like, you mentioned this yesterday. We never got to it because I was rushing us off. So you got mad at me for that. But what's your take on the Cards? What's going wrong here? They got an MVP.
Doesn't it feel a little weird there right now? Like with, I don't know, like even the Tyler O'Neill thing a few weeks ago. Hey, Marmol kind of calls him out in the press and takes him out of the game for not hustling. And Tyler O'Neill's never been known for not hustling. They send down Jordan Walker, who's hitting 275 because they're like, he's got to get the ball in the air more. And as a player, if I'm a player, I'm like, I literally am in the clubhouse going, what are we doing? What are we doing here? What's going on here? This doesn't feel like a winning vibe. This doesn't feel like winning culture. This feels like, what is this? Like, that's how I feel a little bit with the Cardinals. And I really believe it's kind of showing in how they're playing. Yeah. Goldschmidt's still doing his thing. Arenado's kind of been scuffling a little bit. You expect a lot of them. Gorman's come back and hit well. But, the rotation has been great.
Team ERA is close to 5, dude.
Yeah, the pitching has not been good at all. Flaherty obviously got rocked yesterday. He's way better than that. 2 and a third innings, 9 hits, 10 earnings. That's going to hurt your ERA. But yeah, they just haven't pitched that well out of the pen or in the rotation. And that turns out to be a recipe for disaster. But something feels weird with the vibe there. I don't know what it is, man. Just feels weird. 10-22 for a team that's that loaded. No.
Yeah, there's something off there.
Something's
you know
off.
what's funny? They went through that run in like the 90s into the early 2000s where they would just take, I don't want to say a washed up first baseman, but they would take a guy who's kind of at the end of his career and he would just show up there and hit 25 home runs like in like 40 games. Like Tino Martinez went there. Remember, he hit like 6 homers in a game.
Oh yeah.
It's weird seeing a really, historic franchise that always has a good home record struggle. Like, because I don't think they even know, like, how do you get out of that hole? We're the St. Louis Cardinals. Yeah. We don't get in these holes. So when you don't have the experience of getting in a hole, it's hard to dig yourself out of the hole.
Well, I always think this, though, Chinch, when I see the Cardinals scuffle like this out the gates, whenever you scuffle out the gates, it's so magnified. If it's July or August and they're 10 for 23 and they're still like 5 games above 500, you're like, all right, Cards are scuffling. You might not even know they're 10-22 in their last 32. You would just be like, they're scuffling. But when you see 10-22 in their first 32 games, the flags go up. Like, what's that? But like I said, it's more glaring because this is how they came out the chutes.
Yeah, I got another one. This is an impromptu one because we didn't talk about this before. But
yeah,
dude, I'm just looking at some notes here. The Dodgers and Padres are playing each other 6 times in 10 days. So 2 things. One, when that schedule happens that way, how advantage pitchers, right? Or is it advantage hitters? You're going to see a guy twice in a week. Second part is let's handicap that division real quick. Yeah. What does this mean for either team? 6 games, 10 days between the two of them.
Yeah. Well, it is nice to see a pitcher twice. Oh man, especially if he gets me the first time. That's good. And also, it almost becomes like, like you're in an inter squad game. You're seeing their bullpens. You're seeing. It's kind of weird. But listen, these are 2 of the best teams, and at the end of the day, they got to go through each other to win the West.
Right.
The Dodgers are playing some great baseball. They've won 6 in a row. They're 19-13 now. Arizona's for real too. If anyone's watching baseball, they haven't realized Arizona's got a good young core of kids. Especially Corbin Carroll is going to be an absolute star. Zach Gallen in that rotation, top to bottom. That's a good club. Only getting better. So they're going to be around too. But the Padres are sitting at 17-15. They know they got to go through the Dodgers to get where they want to go. So anytime you can get head to head, you got to try and gain ground on the head-to-head matchups. If you're San Diego, I think that's what you're thinking.
I like that. That's good. Hey, I'm just looking at the standings right now. Oakland A's are 6-26.
Yeah.
What was the worst year of your career, from a win-loss record?
I think 2003.
Let's do that.
Did we lose 100 games?
Dude, how do you go to work?
Dude, I'm going to tell you a quick story.
Let's hear it.
I'll tell you how I met Eddie Vedder. Here you go.
Well, this sounds like it's going to be a great story. But
2003, bro. I mean, everybody's hurt. And everyone went home for some reason. It was even weirder. Like, dudes are getting hurt. At the end of the year, they're going home. And I think we're like 30 games under 500, man.
Wait, let me stop you there right now. You played 147 games in that year. Yeah. Nobody else played more than 118.
There you go,
and
dude.
You got 70. Lark only played 70 games. Ken Griffey played 53, and Jose Gabian played 91. All right, keep going.
How many Dunner got hurt too, which is very rare.
Adam Dunn, he played 116, but he played 162. Every year. Yeah. Dude,
everybody was hurt, bro. I mean, everybody was hurt. I remember having a team meeting at the end because I was so frustrated. We called up a lot of AA, AAA players, and they were not giving good effort. And I remember calling the meeting of giving the speech. Hey guys, this isn't the I'll try league. This is the I'll get it done league, or you're out of here. This is called the big leagues. You know what I mean? Like we can't just you can't just be happy to be here. You have to actually do something and play the game right and play it hard. So anyway, bro, that was the feel was with our team. Then it was incredible. And I think me and Jason LaRue were the only guys. In the last series, there was 9 games to go. I'll never forget this. 9 games to go. We're scruffling so bad. I remember running my sprints before the game. And you want to talk about mentally fried? I remember thinking, I don't know if I can play tonight, let alone 9 more games. Like I was just, because nobody was around. The team was so different. All your buddies are, like I said, some of your guys are home. I don't even know how that happened. and I'm like literally, so anyway, we're playing the Cubs and Jose Cardenal was our first base coach, right? One of the best. Love Jose to death. Legend Chicago Cub, legendary, 17 years in the big leagues. So after this, we play the Cubs. I think we beat them. And after the game, I'm just like 8 more to go. Like literally, like I can't believe we have 8 to go. So I walk in the clubhouse and, you always know if somebody's in the clubhouse that you've never seen before. Uh-huh. So over in the corner, Jose Cardenal is sitting with some dude with short blonde hair. And I'm like, hey, who's Cardenal with? Like, that's Eddie Vedder. I'm like, that's what? Eddie Vedder? I was like, I didn't know Eddie Vedder had short blonde hair, but I guess, Ed was doing whatever at that. I don't know why he had. I'll have to ask him why he had short blonde hair. Anyway, it was so cool. And meanwhile, I'm coming out to like even flow for 7 years, and I'm expecting to see Vedder and long dark hair, brown hair, So anyway, yeah, there you go. There you go. It was right around those days.
Okay,
yeah, it was
keep going.
Right around those days.
Great story.
So, dude. There's an unbelievable video on YouTube. If you type in, for everybody listening out there, if you type in Eddie Vedder Cincinnati Reds, it'll pop up. It's incredible. So I introduce him, I say hi to him, and Cardinals introduce us and all that stuff. Meanwhile, Cardinal's the greatest guy ever. He doesn't even know who Eddie Vedder is. Eddie Vedder loves Jose Cardenal, dude, because he was a Cubs fan. And so that's the reason. So Ed had just met Cardinal, dude. It was like him meeting like Jesus.
Meeting himself. Seriously. It was like me meeting Eddie Vedder. That's how much Eddie Vedder loved Jose Cardenal.
Dude, not even close. Like you could rank him too. You could say like he's met all these people. I mean, Ed's met everybody, dude. He's met everybody.
Kings and queens.
Cardinals won. And then the Dalai Lama and everybody down. You know what I mean? Like Cardinals won. So anyway, and Ed had just met Cardinal. So he was so stoked. So we asked Ed, hey man, is there any chance you could play a couple tunes for us? Juan Castro's got a guitar in his locker. And so Ed's like, yeah, man, let me go hang out with the coaches and I'll be back. And we're like, oh, let's go, baby.
Wow.
So dude, Ed came over. Back then we had like a keg in the, we all sat down.
When men were men. Yes.
Yeah. And dude, Vedder sat down and he played, hey, you've got to hide your love away. So dude, he played it for us. It was incredible. Some of the guys had left. So there was only like 12 of us left in the clubhouse. Dude, he played it. It was incredible. He signed a bunch of stuff for us, took pictures. That was the first time I ever met Ed. It was in 2003. Anyway, I remember thinking, this is why I stuck out this season. Because I got a chance to meet Eddie Vedder and see him play in our clubhouse. And if I never see him again, I'll always have that memory of him playing in our clubhouse. Hey, you've got to hide your love away. Dude.
And now,
it was incredible, dude.
And now I just beg you to get him on our show, and we still haven't had him.
We're going to get him on. But it was incredible. But isn't that incredible?
Yes, it is incredible, story. Especially because at that moment, your season ended 69-93, dude.
Oh, that was a struggle, dude.
You won 1 out of every 4 games. So if you had 4 game stretch, you knew you were going to lose 3 games. I can't imagine. It was tough, dude. You just try to hit bombs at that point. Like, what are you doing? How do you get there? How do you get out of your house?
It was a tough year. And that was the year we traded Booney, too. So, like, dude,
oh, my God. You said you cried. Booney. Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah. Wow, what a horrible year.
So, like, everyone was hurt. We traded Boone. I think we traded Scott Sullivan. Like, we were trading every friend I had. And it was incredible.
Well, you got to make a friend in Eddie Vedder. So
yeah, exactly. I traded 2 friends and got 1 friend back.
You traded 2 friends and got a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer who's one of the most brilliant musicians of all time.
Oh my God, incredible! Dude.
Why don't you send him my video of my uke playing, bro, and see? I'm
gonna see what he thinks.
Yeah, my ass, you are. You're not gonna do that.
Yeah, I think he's gonna think you're good. You're really good. I'm like, hey, don't ask him to sing though, Ed. He can't get any words out. Jesus,
that was fun. Anyway, okay, what do you got this weekend, dude?
Dude, I'm going down to Richmond, dude. Me and the Lambuski and my buddy Jay Adams. We're driving down today. They're honoring the '95 Richmond team that when we went to the regional. So we're all coming back. So it's gonna be really cool. I haven't seen guys in years.
Was it Mark DeRosa? You said the greatest athlete in New Jersey history is the Big Lambuski.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. No, I brought him into MLB Central one day with the Lambuski, and he looks over and he goes, "How do you?" This is what D-Row, typical D-Row fashion. How do you know the legend? That's what he said about Boo. It was incredible. And I go, D-Row, was he really as good as he says he is?
Yeah.
He's like, he's better. He was like, he was one of the nastiest football players ever.
Wow, man.
And dude, Boo was one of the nastiest football players ever. Came to Richmond to play football and played center field and pitcher. He was that good of an athlete.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Can you imagine I could not imagine playing 2 sports in college. It's just the amount you have to put into playing one sport in college is bananas. And to play 2 and then you're not there for spring or fall practices, I would have had a heart attack. I don't think I could have pulled that off.
Dude, Boo ended up getting drafted too as a hitter out of high school and a pitcher out of college.
Seriously?
He had more power, dude. He had the most power like you've ever seen.
How tall is he?
He's like 5'11".
He's a big dude, man.
Dude, he's so big.
You only hang out with
strong.
big people, except for me. I'm like the small. Am I your small? I'm your smallest friend.
Probably. Yeah, probably. Probably.
So good. It's not the size of the dog in a fight, Sean. It's the size of the fight.
I know, Ginge. I don't want to mess with you, bro. I seen your temper.
I'll bite your ankle right off. You might beat me down.
I seen you're the guy that headbutts somebody in the balls.
Absolutely. Oh, are you kidding me? I'll pull hair. I'll do anything. If there's a little stick on the side, I'll crack it right over your head. That's the only way. That's the only way I've survived. That's how the Chinchaminos have survived. We're like locusts. All right, on that note, have fun down in Richmond. Also, Sunday night, real quick,
Breakthrough Pro, Sunday night. Let's go. I'll be back. We'll be rocking and rolling. Sign up. Couple days to sign up. Breakthrough-pro.com. Come join JD and I. It's going to be a life-changing 8 weeks. Let's do it. All right, Chinch. Love you, brother. Have a great weekend, everybody.